of the Order of the Niger.
The governor of Rivers State takes to the podium. It's now time for him to present, in his own words, his scorecard as governor of the state in the past 3 years.
Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Your Excellency, the Chairman of today's occasion, who is our leader and former governor of Rivers State, Sir Dr. Pt.1, Your Excellency, the former governor of Rivers State, who was a student of Dr. Pt.1 Political School, Sir Celestine Ngozuchim Omeya, the Right Honorable Speaker of the State Assembly, my Lord, the Chief Judge, distinguished senators, particularly Senator Thank God Idozo and Senator Sam Ayam that are here, Your Excellency, the former Deputy Governor, distinguished senators, because they say once the senator is always the senator. Senator George Sakibo and Lady Gobeba, former Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, our dear royal fathers, particularly the chairman of Rivers State Traditional Rulers Council, members of the State Assembly and members of the National Assembly that are here, my lords, judges of Rivers State Judiciary, the president of Customary Court of Appeal, chairman of my party, particularly our visitor who just came out of prison, who's a victim of the present government, Chief Dan Obi, former ministers that are here, members of State Executive Council, our dear mothers, and my friends who came all the way from Lagos and Abuja, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Let me thank the organizers of today's event for a job well done, even though they were unable to, after telling us that there will be a documentary, they refused to show the documentary. I hope it shouldn't be the strategy of the present government of making promise and then blaming the equipment. You don't make promise without fulfilling the promise. 3 years ago, you gave us the mandate to preside over our lovely state and drive its progress. As we all know, our democracy constantly reminds us of the need to render periodic accounts to our people, to whom and for whom we hold that mandate in trust. Since taking the oath of office, we are always excited to discharge this responsibility at every opportunity. Yesterday marked the end of our 3rd year in office, and so we are here today to present to you our scorecard of the last 3 years. Let me therefore welcome and thank you all for honoring our invitation. Your presence in your numbers shows not only your interest in our administration, but also, most importantly, the harmony that exists amongst us as one people. Although there are different challenges, but bound by a common destiny. Before we assumed office, we made a lot of promises as the basis for seeking your mandate. We have also invested time, effort, and resources to fulfill these promises. Lest we forget, we all know the state of our state, especially the very poor state of economy, before we took over the mantle of leadership. However, despite the challenges, we remain undaunted, focused and determined to make the difference we have promised. Today, we are here to celebrate the achievements we have made in implementing our development agenda. We are boldly and progressively delivering on our promises to our state and our people. But before I go on to the details of what our administration has delivered, permit me to express our gratitude to the Speaker and members of the Rivers State House of Assembly for their commitment to the progress of the state. They supported us not only with appropriations, but also with the laws that we needed to deliver our development agenda. Similarly, let me also commend the state judiciary for what it has been doing to peacefully settle disputes and advance the economic development of the state. This shows that unlike what we had, the three arms of government are all working cooperatively to advance the common good and progress of our state. As you all know, we are working hard to democratize the local government system, with local government elections already fixed for the 16th of June 2018. This is a very crucial opportunity for us to elect our leaders at the grassroots that we can hold accountable to deliver basic services to enhance the quality of life. As I speak to you, there is no legal obstacle to the holding of this election. It will hold throughout the state in all the 4,442 units, that is 319 wards, and 23 local governments. I wish to therefore appeal to all eligible voters to come out in your numbers on the election day to vote for the candidates of your choice and enable our local government councils to be properly and democratically governed. As I earlier said, it is 36 months we took over the mantle of leadership in Rivers State. Before we assumed office, we made fundamental promises and entered into social pacts on several issues that touch on the progress of the state and the well-being of the people. It is therefore my pleasure to once again account to our people on what we have done with the mandate and the resources put at our disposal in the last 3 years. Accountable and caring governance. When we took office, we promised an open, transparent, and accountable government. 3 years after, we have changed the trajectory of governance from the failures of the past to one that cares and works for the people, with our hands constantly placed on the plow of service. Administration of justice. When we came in, we inherited a judiciary completely displaced from its purpose. The courts were deliberately placed under lock and key. Both strands of the court system have no recognized heads. Lawyers and their families suffer untold hardship, while crime rates, self-help, and lawlessness increase. To redress this situation, we promised not to interfere in the administration of justice and appointment of judicial officers. We resolved the impasse in the appointment of substantive chief judge for the state and reopened the courts for business. We ensure judiciary is financially independent, self-accounting. We give priority attention to the welfare of judicial officers and magistrates, equip the courts to improve their operational efficiency and ensure speedy dispensation of justice. Today, we are proud to say that we have achieved all the promises and even more. We have since appointed new heads of our courts and filled all existing vacancies in the State's High Court and Customary Court of Appeal. As a matter of fact, we did not promise to intervene in federal courts in the state, but we have built and furnished the most modern courthouses in the country for the Port Harcourt divisions of the Federal High Court and the National Industrial Court that will commissioned June 19 by the Chief Justice of the Federation. We have also reconstructed and modernized the Port Harcourt division of the Court of Appeal complex. We also built an automobile secretary for the Port Harcourt branch of the Nigerian Bar Association. We have done so with shown to our guests to make Port Harcourt a regional judicial hub and the best place where judicial officers, lawyers, and litigants can have all the comfort that they need to dispense justice and receive judicial services as the case may be. We have also attended to the well-being of our judges and magistrates with brand new cars to enhance their comfort and movement. As we speak, work on the first phase of the new judges' quarters comprising 25-bedroom luxurious duplexes as part of our new housing plan for judicial officers is progressing satisfactorily. Arguably, our judiciary is not only independent, it is one of the most resourced, respected, and active judiciary in the country. And Rivers State today ranks as the place with the most modern judicial infrastructure in the country. Advancing education. In 2015, we promised to revitalize and reposition our educational system and expand access to our children to quality education at all levels. To achieve these objectives, we committed ourselves to progressively increase budgetary allocations for the funding of education, effectively implement the Universal Basic Education Scheme, renovate and adequately equip our secondary schools, ensure regular monitoring of schools for greater accountability and efficiency, improve educational infrastructure in our tertiary education schools. In the last 3 years, advancing education in the state is another promise we have kept. For instance, budgetary allocation has progressed from 5% in 2014 to over 10% in 2018. For basic education, we have cleared all salary arrears